Hello and welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here in the Impact Power Sports studio. Impact Power Sports online at impactpowersportsmi.com. If you want an ATV, UTV, side-by-side motorcycle, e-bike, Yamaha golf cart, they are Michigan's newest distributor of Yamaha golf carts. They have everything you need. You can shop online at impactpowersportsmi.com. Good group over there. I got a little bit of a late start today. This is one of those days where I'm like 15 minutes late. I'm like, boy, there's not a lot that's developed that I can talk about. I mean, I always have something I can talk about on a personal level, and today is no exception. But it's like, there's just not a lot happening. It's kind of like this, I don't know, maybe it has to do with the lame duck session. I don't know if it's anything political. I mean, I don't know if I'd necessarily even talk about it. But welcome. I'm pretty sure that right now, your old pal EZ has 0 Pooh Bear points. And I'm going to tell you what happened here. For those of you who don't know, Pooh Bear is my beautiful wife. And I think I am on her shit list. So I'm going to go over everything with you right now, and I'm sure you will agree. Maureen writes, 0 points equals cockhead. Okay. So from time to time, my clothes smell like mildew. My illustrious wardrobe of various hoodies or sweatpants. Kenny says, did you spend more time doing chores for the neighbor lady yesterday? No, wasn't that at all. Matt drops, maybe you should hire a black guy to satisfy her needs. Thanks for that. None of those things apply here. So I just thought that that's the way it is. I mean, I don't know why my clothes smell that way. I thought maybe they were being left in the washer when for too long, you know? Like after they were washed, they stayed in there wet. Jeremy says, did you whip out the old, whatever you do, please make sure my clothes still stink after washing them? No, it wasn't. It wasn't like that, but you're getting closer. Now, it wasn't long ago that Pooh Bear said, oh, by the way, I know how to make them so that they don't smell like that. And I go, really? I didn't know that was a thing. And I guess that there's some things you can do, first of all, to the machine to make it so that the clothes don't come out smelling like that. And I still don't know why they occasionally come out smelling like that. I don't know. But there are some steps. You should clean the inside of the washer by running it with vinegar. And then when it comes to actually getting the smell out of the clothes, from what I understand, I had to research this today because I have to do my own laundry now. You have to put baking powder or baking soda, Arm & Hammer baking soda on top of your clothes before you hit start to get that smell out. But it's also a good idea to run the machine with vinegar once, and then the second time you put bleach where the detergent goes and run it a second time on the clean drum setting. David says it's probably long overdue for a cleaning. Yeah, I believe so. But so not that long ago, she said, yeah, I know how to do this, honey. And I said, oh, okay, that's very kind. Awesome. So she cleaned the inside of the washing machine, and then she redid the clothes so that they smell fresh. And I was like, oh, thank God, because I have like a bunch of hoodies. I just thought they were permanently bad smelling and would have to throw them out. So that is very, very cool. So then today I put on a hoodie, and I could smell the mildew or mold. I don't know which one it is. I could smell it, and it's faint, but it's enough that it's like, I mean, that's never a good thing. So I take it off, and then I grab another one, and I go to put that one on, and it too smells that way. So I went into the bedroom, and I said, honey, I'm gonna need these rewashed. They smell like mildew. And I didn't say anything bad. This isn't the bad part. And she grabs them and sniffs them. And I said to her, I have a very sensitive nose. I'm like a goddamn bloodhound. And even the faintest sniff of mildew, and it ruins me. And she smells them. And she looks at me and says, you are ridiculous. And I responded with, did I respond with A, no big deal, or B, I appreciate you doing all that you do, or C, learn how to wash the clothes? If you guessed C, you're correct. And then she responded with either A, okay, I'll try to do better, B, you're so silly, or C, fuck off, do your own clothes, with 2 middle fingers. If you guess C, you are correct. And she threw the clothes at me, and she started to cry. Like her lip went, like, and I'll go, oh no, I made her cry. Fucking shit. I go, I can't believe you're crying. So I hurt her feelings, and she's really pissed. So then I walked away. I'm like, yeah, fine, I'll do it. Then it came time to making her lunch. I said, what would you like for your lunch? She says, I'll do it. I said, just tell me what you want for your lunch. Taco salad, yogurt, and a yogurt. I go down there, make the food. Prior to that, this is several minutes later, I'm walking to the room, and I said, sorry I told you to do a better job or I'm sorry I told you to learn how to do the laundry. And then I was walking through the room when I said that, and she did not respond. So I said, is that okay? Or did you hear me? She says, yeah, but it wasn't sincere because you were walking out of the room when you said it. You did not look at me when you said it. So I came back in the room, and then I looked at her, and I said, I'm sorry I told you to learn how to do the laundry. And then she said, okay, like that. And then I turned around, I went downstairs, and I made her lunch. Aram says that apology basically is just another insult. So then went down, made the food. She came down, got her lunch, and left. She said goodbye to the NFK. I could hear that. She did not say goodbye to me, and she is out the door. I don't think I'm getting much assistance from the crew in the chat. As Kenny writes, At least she didn't say, I bet that neighbor lady I've been helping out knows how to do her laundry right. No, come on now. David says negative Pooh Bear points. Tophus says, nah, you fucked up, dude. When I was describing what I did, Tophus said, well, I mean. Then he says, you basically said that her job is washing the clothes. Then he says, yeah, and that she doesn't do it right. Well, did you take a shit on her chest when she was sleeping? No, that's horrible. The best thing you could have done was apologize and say nothing. Yeah, I already read that one. And you might as well have called her the C word. Probably would have been less offensive. Wow, I don't know about that. Come on now. Frank Freebeer writes, welcome to the newest sponsor, Lulu Laundromat. So then I processed that information. I went into the laundry room and I cleaned the tub. I put vinegar where the detergent goes. I put it on the clean tub function. You know, it takes like almost 4 hours for it to do its job. My God. But you're supposed to do it every so often. And then when that is done at around noon, I have to do it again with the bleach. And then I have to wash my clothes. I guess this is a new thing that I have to do, another chore. Okay. All right. Pick up the pieces, and that's the end of that. She really took it hard when I said, learn how to wash the clothes. I said nothing more. That is all that happened. She wrote, I am going straight to the YMCA after school at 6:17 a.m. I let that percolate, and I responded at 7:44 with, okay, have a nice day. No response. 10:14 a.m. I wrote, how many Pooh Bear points do I have? That was 15 minutes ago. No response yet. Aram writes, Pop, and McGregor laundry service. Rich said, if she did them correctly the first time, it wouldn't be an issue. No, I'm not gonna go that far at all. I think in the future, because, well, after she said, you're ridiculous, and I said, well, learn how to do the wash. And she got mad at me. I said, well, you called me ridiculous. She goes, I was kidding. And I'm like, okay. I tried to, make it so that it was that, I could get offended by what she said, but she wasn't having it. She responded with 0 points. I don't think you even have a Pooh Bear at all, with cry emoji. You know, not everybody gets a Pooh Bear. I responded with, oh dear, can I call quick? Did I say that? I don't even remember what I say anymore on this show. I've got the 3 dots telling me that she's typing something. She said in a few minutes she's in the middle of the gym. Jeremy says, oh no. Tyler says, oh no, your Pooh Bear account has been closed. Stevie says, flowers, maybe a foot rub. Nick with the only loads you're going to be dropping is into the washer yourself. Tyler says, a response is good. She can't be that pissed. Tyler A. Tofus says, I'm telling you, apologize and just leave her alone. I did apologize. I apologized twice. Once when I was walking through the room, and then when I walked back into the room when she said that's not good enough, and looked at her and said, I'm sorry I told you to learn how to do the laundry. You know, she has one less thing to do right now, being that I now have to do my own laundry. And frankly, I welcome that role. I cannot wait to do my own laundry. Donut Dan suggests I dive in with both feet. Tell her while you're in the doghouse that you hate her cooking also. Okay, that's ridiculous. First of all, she doesn't cook. I cook. I make all meals for everyone. I make her lunch every day. Kenny says the real punishment would be telling you that you now have to do the NFK's laundry from now on. Did you know that when his clothes get dirty, he just gathers them up and throws them on the floor of the laundry room? He doesn't even put them in the fucking basket. He just throws them on the fucking floor. He's in a pissed off mood today, too, by the way. Those two wards, typically when he's walking through the room, first thing in the morning, he breathes through his mouth. So you can hear. And he's got this shitty look in his face. I'm like, oh. So I always give him the old small talk. Hey, boy, it looks like crappy weather. And he gives me a yeah. Usually it's some type of playful conversation. Instead, today, my playful conversation is, yeah, that new bird feeder, it doesn't look like the birds like it. Because Pooh Bear just bought a new bird feeder, and I put it together and put the bird seed in it and hung it up. And the birds are just now starting to get around to checking it out. There had been seed gone for a long time. So they're like, fuck you. But this one, it hangs from the shepherd's hook lower than the other one. He goes, I can't even see it. I can't even see the birds eating. It's too low. Like, oh, God. Is it? Yeah, that new bird feeder, it looks pretty good. Does it? Shut up. Did you? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, as predicted, Pellerito is losing his shit again. Okay? This is textbook of him sinking his claws into an unsuspecting victim. I knew this was going to happen. I knew it. As soon as we get around to great food giveaway, and I have a great update about that coming up, by the way. Last year, with the stalking out the ladies at the corner, Sarah included, and then the second they turn their back as the great food giveaway is ending, he goes to their corner where they were directing traffic to say, hey, come get the free food. We're out of food. He's driven an hour and a half with his stupid Santa Claus suit to tell motorists to come get the free food. He was not invited. No one in our group talks to him. No one likes him. He's been gone for years. That whole pack of idiots left in a huff. No one wants anything to do with them. 1 year ago, Dickbag shows up unannounced and uninvited and starts directing traffic back to Irvine's for motorists to come get food that we don't have. We gave it all away. This is classic Mike. He can't just let it go. Do you remember back when I exiled them on the great Zaniac Exodus, and I said, get out. I don't want you here anymore. Fuck off. All of them. He wrote this long, dramatic note and referred to them as a garden of listeners, and I am the gardener. You grew a garden of listeners. We are the fruits. We are your garden. You are the gardener. Your hands have toiled in the soil for us to grow for you. It was so weird. It was icky shit. Well, since then, I haven't paid attention to these people at all. At all. All right? I don't know anything about these people. Out of the blue, this is Mike's attempt to get, like, somehow talked about on the show. And congrats, you've done it. I am describing this ridiculous, harassing behavior. Out of the blue, he reaches out to Sarah, who he has no relationship with. He's never had a relationship with her. She hasn't talked to him in years. No one in our group has, because no one likes him. Big deal. Whatever. What the fuck? She has a video from like years ago of the Great Food Giveaway, where there's various clips of her urging people to stop and, hey, stop and get some food. It's Sarah's video. Mike pulls the audio from that video that she already has and sends it to her. Hey, I did this for you. I found this audio clip. And he leaves her like a voicemail through Facebook Messenger. Hey, I'm here, and these were good times. Just telling you, hi, friend. I'm here for you, and hey, it's good to catch up with a friend. And she's like, what the fuck? What is this? What is going on here? Why are you? Huh? And she said that she got it at like 10:30 at night on like Monday. So she reaches out to me. She's like, yeah, what is going on? Time out in this story. Time out in this story, because the multi-talented Dana Bentz is here. See you, Dana. It's good to have you here. Dana's a nice lady who reached out to me. Do you remember some time ago, ladies and gentlemen, in this podcast, when I talked about how some lady named Dana Bentz, who I don't know, reached out to me asking me for some insight as to what I do here on the podcast. And I said to you, I have no idea what this is about. And you were all like, ooh, boy, what's this all about? What's going on? And then I sat down and we talked for several minutes about how this podcast came to be. And she was kind of like picking my brain, and she's working on a project. And if you remember, I told you on the show that I reached out. I go, yeah, what's this all about? And she didn't really tell me anything. So I went into the meeting. I had no idea what this is about. And then I finished the meeting, and I still have no idea what this is about. But I think she's working on something big. So, but I don't know what. And so Dana says, oh, my God, the chat already knows who I am. Well, yeah, I had when we talked, I talked to you about how a lot of what happens away from the podcast makes the podcast. Okay? A lot of storytelling. So, yes, you had been talked about. But I ended my conversation saying, yeah, so we had a long talk. And then I said, I have no idea what this is about. And I can't wait to find out. So then today, I see that you followed me on Twitch. I was like, and it didn't come together in my brain right away. I was like, why do I know that name? Why do I know? And I went, okay, now I got it. So here we are. And I still don't know what the hell you're up to, but I'm sure it's fun. You're a nice person to talk to. Glad you're here. Tyler says, quote from EZ, I'm not sure what she's working on. All I know is she needed my social security number, birth date, and home address. Well, welcome. This chat group is, these are the ones who get my show live. It's not a ton of people, but they're very active and very fun. But like we talked about, the majority of my audience is listening to the pre-recorded podcast. This becomes my podcast. Kenny already being weird with, she's cute with a great smile. That gets a follow from me. What are you doing? She's been here like 30 seconds. You're already hitting on her. Unbelievable. Anyway. Where was I in this story? Oh, yeah. Mike reaches out to Sarah, and he's like, "Oh, just getting in touch with an old friend. How are you, old friend? Here's a video, audio I got for it." She's like, "What? What is going on? Huh?" So she reaches out to me, and she goes, "What is he doing?" And I said, "I don't know, but there's always something cooking. You can never tell with this guy. I don't know. I don't know. But rest assured, I'm going to mention this dynamic." And so she didn't care. You know, Sarah's pretty cool. Fast forward last night, 6 p.m. I get a phone call. And I'm like, "Hello?" She goes, "Oh, my God, he's crazy. He's crazy." I'm like, uh-oh. And I guess he wrote her another a manifesto similar to the Garden of Listeners. All right? Pellerito can't just take a hint. He did the same thing with me when I was like, "All right, I've had enough of you losers. I'm tired. I'm tired, and this is not your show. You don't own anything here. You're an audience member just like everybody else. Okay? Enough. I've had it. Get out. Don't come back." Then I got the Garden of Listeners manifesto. Now Sarah's going to get this. More unwanted connection. More unwanted communication. These people are the authorities on this. They won't let it go. You know, after years of people harassing me, coming to my house, calling me, sending me unwanted mail, just so much stuff that makes me like constantly looking over my shoulder. It comes as no surprise that Sarah ignoring him, resulting in a conversation with me, resulting in me describing the stupid behavior, turns into yet another bit of correspondence. He can't just say, well, all's well that ends well. Now, of course, I'm going to talk about it. I talk about everything. So Ding Dong, who probably watches and listens to everything on this show, he's probably subscribed on Patreon under a fake name. I can't prevent that from happening. Now he's all butthurt, and he sends a 5 times as long bit of correspondence to Sarah with, "I was just being friendly, and you hurt me, and now I'm hurt, and now he's gonna talk about this, and oh, woe is me." Ugh. Dude. God. For new members of the audience, you're just now being, I'm giving you more description than you need about this guy to know what he's all about. Okay, this is someone who, this was the guy who, when I got fired, I was walking onto the ice at the Griffins game a couple days later, and he's at the penalty box with a sign saying, I love you, Eric, or whatever the hell it was, crying. He's crying. And I'm like, ugh. Now, it was at that point that I should have given him the finger and said, sorry, you're too weird for me. But I let him dig his claws in. All right? I should have never have done that. I should have let all those wackos, I should never have let them into my house. These wackos helped build this studio. All right? This is before the bait and switch happened. But as time passed, it got more and more involved. And they were like bogarting the chat. It was awful. And people left in droves. It turned out to be, it was less than this is. It was the worst. And then it came to a point where it was like, all right, I can't take any more. And when we collided and there was a big blow up years ago. And then that was it. I haven't heard from them since. Tyler says, do you think they installed hidden cameras when they built the studio? I guess it's possible. My God. All right, I'm going to try to reach out to Pooh Bear here. And then he said, he said to Sarah something along the lines of, I don't want this to get...
Hello, you have reached out.
I don't want this... God, what was it? I don't want to make a big deal out of this or something to the effect of, I don't want this to be dramatic. And then Sarah's like, well, then why did you fucking send this message? This alone does it. It puts it over the hill. Nick says, Easy had to turn liberal just to get rid of them. I am not liberal. I'm far from it. Just because I voted for Harris and Walz does not make me liberal. You ding dong. So now I'm just wondering what is next. Is he going to continue with? And she goes, well, he can't reach me now. I blocked his ass. So that's what you have to do to get this wacko. To get off of this wacko's radar is you have to block him from social media. It's like he can't just go away. Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate that. He says, Easy, your mic is a little bit off since trying to call. I appreciate you looking out for me. You're very kind. All right. I have an update on the Great Food Giveaway. Now, for those of you who are thinking about this, I love the fact that we have an army of volunteers to give all this food away. By the way, Chris writes new material for weeks now on the Boomer Bunker. I don't think that's on anymore. I think that went away. I haven't heard hide nor hair from that show in probably 6 months. The Great Food Giveaway is Friday, December 20. I would love it. I would love it if you showed up. Now, I don't want Mike to show up, and I hope he won't. I hope he gets the idea and the hint that no one here likes you. Oh, here she is. Hello.
Hi.
I was just talking with the audience about today's eventful start.
Yeah.
Are you on a horse right now?
No, I'm walking down the hall and I have a drink with ice in it. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
The ice is jiggling.
Yeah, it says. It sounds like you're on a horse.
Not on a horse. Okay.
Everybody says that you're pissed off,
Mm-hmm.
and
And?
I'm just calling to confirm that.
Yeah.
I told a part of the story where I apologized, and the first one wasn't good enough.
Hang on a second. Thanks, Bodie. Okay. Go ahead.
About the first apology was a problem,
Yeah.
and the second one also a problem?
Kinda. Wasn't sincere. You were just saying it to make yourself.
I'm sorry. Could you say that again?
I said it didn't sound sincere.
Okay, so I'm so sorry that I told you to learn how to do the laundry. That was
Okay.
not nice.
No. Okay, I gotta go though because I'm walking into class, and then I have to take Ryan to get his meds.
Okay.
So, all right.
Okay, bye. I love you.
Bye. Love you too. Bye.
Chris says this is awkward. LOL. Piano Fingerbanger says ask her if she knows where the dog leash is. I don't get that. Aram says what kind of apology restates the insult? Wait a minute. I don't get it. That was the offense, right? Is that not good? Am I missing how to apologize? I thought that, like, if you do something wrong, you apologize for it. Please, can someone shed some light as to maybe try to figure out what Aram is saying, or maybe Aram can restate it. Best not to restate it word for word, I think. Does everybody else have that idea when it comes to an apology? What are you supposed to do? I'm sorry that I was mean. Oh, I see what you're saying. So that's I had never heard this before. I thought that when you do something wrong, you apologize for it. There's a lot of, I'm learning a lot about apologies. One, don't be walking through the room. Two, if you apologize, you have to do it sincerely, I guess. But I could have sworn I was. And then I did it just there. Aram says Zane is only saying that he is sorry he told her how to do the laundry. I said, I'm sorry I told you were terrible at doing the laundry. Or I'm sorry I told you to learn how to do the laundry. That was the insult. He is apologizing about the fact that he told her, not that he was wrong about his judgment of her laundry habits. Well, isn't that the same thing? All right. Well, I don't know. Maybe I need to rethink that. Maybe I'm doing it all wrong. She seemed to take it okay, though. Tyler says a good wife apology requires an intro, a body, and a conclusion. The thesis statement should include why you were wrong, followed by the body of what led up to the incident. Then you conclude with I'm sorry. Okay. Tophus says she did not take that okay, LOL. Aram says she apparently is used to shitty apologies. Kenny says, I don't think she enjoyed the phone call very much from the sound of her voice and all that was said. No, I don't either. I do not detect that she liked any of that. But she did call me. I mean, she didn't have to call me back, but she did. So that's good. She didn't have to do that. But all right. Well, I guess. Okay. Let me ask you this. Based on what you now know, and based on what has happened on the phone call, would you think that I am in a worse spot now or a better spot now? Tophus says that she maybe not expect to be on the air. No, she knows that she's on the air just because of the time. She might have been hoping for a better apology, but she just got a third shitty apology. I'm in the same spot. Chris says same spot. David, not better. Tophus says, I think you are in the same spot. Not worse, but not better. Chris says, I have to buy her sushi dinner. Matt says, I think I should start building my dating profile. Kenny says, flowers, favorite meal, or favorite restaurant for dinner. No, that's too much. That is too much. Tophus says he's going to ask AI to make an apology for you. Tyler says not only do you have 0 Pooh Bear points, but your Pooh Bear credit score has also taken a massive hit. Let me ask you this. Do you think it would be a good idea to have her call back and then do it all over again? Is that what I need to do? Or should I just do nothing? I'm thinking that nothing. Rebecca says yes. Stevie says leave her alone. Everybody else is saying leave her alone. Piano Finger Banger says yes. Kevin says call her back. Chris says it's awkward on here. Just chat to her when you get sushi. This is Tophus's AI apology. Dear Pooh Bear, I want to sincerely apologize for what I said earlier about doing laundry. I realize my comment was hurtful and disrespectful, and I deeply regret saying it. It came across as unkind and dismissive, and that's not at all how I want to treat you. You do so much, and I should be showing you appreciation and support, not making thoughtless remarks. I've reflected on my words, and I understand how they might have made you feel undervalued. I'm truly sorry for that. Please know that I respect and love you, and I will work on being more thoughtful and considerate with my words moving forward. With love, your name. That's a good apology, but she'd never believe that was easy. Yeah, fuck that. I'm not doing that. This is ridiculous. All right. Let's move on. Where was I? When it comes to the Great Food Giveaway, the more people that are there helping give away the food to those less fortunate, the better. So we're going to have 150 meals at Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Boxed. In each box will be a giant ham, 5-pound bag of potatoes, gravy, rolls, corn. We put the bag, we put it all in the box. People drive up. We put the food in the car. No questions asked. Off they go. We'll also have support from Grand Rapids Pit Bull Alliance. They have free pet food for us to give away. And because of your kind donations, we will be giving away female feminine hygiene products, which sometimes folks who might be in a bad spot cannot afford those. That was Megan's idea. A lot of this is Megan's idea. I'm just kind of like the eye candy of the whole damn thing. And I talk about it here. Since we last talked, now we have 2 days of fundraising behind us. I will have for you a link to Megan's wish list. I'll talk about that in a second. And we'll also have the information about how you can contribute to the Great Food Giveaway. Oh, I got an update for you. Remember when Tophus said she didn't know that she was on the air? She wrote, "Sorry if that sounded weird. I didn't know I was on the air. I thought you were just calling to apologize, so I was taken off guard." I wrote, "Whoops, sorry about that. I thought you knew." All right, so now I'm probably in worse shape than I was in before. Now we're talking like a divorce at this point. Today I've been continuously stepping in shit. I woke up. Shortly after waking up, I stepped in shit. Then I stepped in more shit. And then the shit on my shoes, I tracked it all around the house. Continued to step in shit. Hold on a second. And then I stepped in more shit by not telling her she's on the podcast. So she's really, there's so much shit on my shoes that it's like I'm taller because there's so much caked on shit on my shoes right now. Embarrassing. All right. I remember what the fuck I was doing. Great food giveaway. So we now have a total of 8 people who have donated cash. And we have totaled $479.20. The total of food that we will need, the cost for all that food, I don't yet have it. I reached out to Nate over at the Jennison Meyer, and Mike Ball is helping out because he's going to see Nate today. Say, hey, EZ needs to know the total. I'm still waiting for that total of how much it's going to cost to fund the Great Food Giveaway. All right, so let's see. I had my Venmo all lined up for you. I don't have it right in front of me. So embarrassing. If you are on, if you have Venmo, this is what I want you to do. You can search out at Eric-Zeitunian. Venmo at Eric-Zeitunian. And PayPal at Eric Zane Show. I had this all ready to go, and now I don't. If you want to drop some money in the hat that we have going around. As well, this is a link for Amazon, Megan's Amazon wish list for feminine hygiene products. Now, yesterday, we had next to nothing. That has increased dramatically. We had like 14 boxes of feminine hygiene products of the 550 that we need. That number has gone up to 54. So thank you so much. What you do is you click on that link and you see all these feminine hygiene products. Add them all to your cart. That's 5 things. They total, one box of each, just north of $42. and then they will ship to Irvine's. As you can see, me banging the drum for the world famous period cups, has led to an influx. We have almost half of the amount needed of these products, which, let's be honest here, a lot of us don't even know that these exist. But I guess this is becoming a favored way of women having to deal with this scenario that their body puts them through. Well, all right, we're doing our part. The goal is to have 550 boxes of these products broken down in this way. 150 each of various pads, and then 60 boxes of the Tampax Pearls, and 40 boxes of the reusable menstrual cup set, which is made from the most reliable medical grade silicone. Comfortable use for 12 hours, ladies. All right? There's going to be a lot of people that cannot afford this shit, and we're going to give it to them. So they're going to pull up. Team Dog Cat is going to load up the car with pet food. And then the food team is going to load up the food. And then their car moves over to the pink zone. And Team Pink is going to load them up with the various feminine hygiene products. I almost said feminine hygiene. Matt says Amazon was way easier than resetting my Venmo password. Rebecca says we need a wish list for the pet food. It's all taken care of. The Grand Rapids Pit Bull Alliance brings hundreds of pounds of free pet food that has been given to them by their donors, and then they give that away. Tyler says make sure to let Easy know if your donation is for the Great Food giveaway or his legal fees for the impending divorce. Damn it. You know what's interesting is when I sat down here to do this show, I was like, okay, what am I talking about? And I was like, okay, I'm a little lean. Well, I'm just going to talk about this fight. Okay, I'm just going to talk about this trouble that I'm in with this laundry issue. And I'm like, well, I don't even know if it's that interesting. And then I'm like, you idiot. It's always interesting when you talk about relatable things. It's always interesting. It's the best thing to talk about. Megan says, if this goes down, is Sherry still your backup wife? I think she'd go to Diana. Yes. She would not be on my team. I can only utilize Sherry as wife backup if Diana gets hit by a train or eaten by a snapping turtle. There cannot be a divorce and then go to Sherry. If you are the immortal Dana Bentz, you don't know any of these people. Who's Sarah? She wrote earlier. Who's Sherry? Yeah, you're in the dark. You're in the dark. Sarah's just a fantastic friend / audience member who, over the years, has been nothing but a legendary soul. We love her. You're like, Sherry. Who's Sherry? Well, friend of the family, my wife backup. In the event Diana gets hit by a train, I have a wife backup. All right. Okay, I'm going to pause right here and use the boys' room. Sarah says my Amazon order has been placed. Thank you. Kenny writes, there is that one. I don't know if I want to read that, Kenny. Yeah, I'm gonna refrain on that one. Maureen says, who is Diana's backup? And I don't know that. Stevie says, I'm not Sarah, easy. Yeah, I know that. What did I indicate that you were or something? I don't know. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm talking about on this show. Okay. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Too much coffee. And there we go. Enjoy the dogs. All right. Megan writes, do you remember, guys, when Throat/Dale told us that they, meaning he and his wife, had sex while he was driving down the interstate? I do remember that. That guy, holy cow, I still talk to Dale to this day. We just kind of got out of the habit of doing Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia, which that reminds me, I just saw a story that a truck driver got pulled over. The cops tipped off. The cops were tipped off by somebody that the guy driving the truck was transporting a load of cocaine. So 18-wheel truck, tractor trailer. They pull the guy over in the area of Benton Harbor, Michigan. 22-year-old dude from Canada. And his name is he had like a Middle Eastern name. It just showed this on the news. And They had been tipped off that he was transporting. He was like a drug mule. And he had 120 pounds of coke. There it is. God damn. Who's the narc? A tip led deputies to bust a semi carrying more than 120 pounds of coke along I-94. They got word about the drugs Monday and then stopped the truck. Hang on, I got to sneeze. Oh, boy. That's tough. If you're that driver and you're thinking, I got it made, all I got to do is get this shit to wherever I'm going, and I'm good to go. And then he sees the cops behind him with their lights on, pull over. He's like, oh, my God. Search of the truck and trailer yielded the coke. The drugs have a street value of $1.5 million. Damn. They most were wrapped in brown paper and tape and labeled Franzen. What the hell does that mean? I don't know. That's going to tell me. Maybe that's a brand. Hans and Franzen. Dances probably was in the left lane doing 60 for 8 miles. Yeah, we got to protect the border. What is that highway, says Rebecca? I-94 that runs between Detroit and Chicago. That's the drug trafficking highway. Well, there you go. There's the issue. Jeremy says, I'd be surprised if it was branded cocaine. Weird story, though, to say the least. Anyway, yeah, Dale used to be a legendary cocaine dealer. He was like, so well known in the area for what he did that when he broke good finally and started to earn money like through legitimate sources, applying his effort and hustle to actually a normal job, that he'd get pulled over and the cops would be like, are you running drugs still? He goes, no, I'm legit. And they're like, yeah, right. Like they didn't believe it. Incredible. Folks, you may remember Susan Smith. Some of you might not remember, but some of you may. 1994, Susan Smith. This is the woman who her car rolled into some body of water down the boat ramp in South Carolina or what? I think that's where it was. And the kids died. I think there may have been like 3 kids. They were all like really little. Tophus says 2 kids. No, yeah, it was 2. 2 kids. Very, very young. And I think she said that like a black guy did it. This is she's up for parole. This is her right here with the husband who at the time he thought she was innocent. Man, talk about a shattered life. What happens to a person that they suddenly decide that they want to kill their kids? Well, anyway, she is up for parole. She is asking to be set free. Talk about something that was done that you can't imagine someone even having the nerve to ask to get out of prison after that. Unless, of course, they can prove without a shadow of a doubt that she was batshit crazy and has been rehabilitated. And maybe that's what they'll do. I don't know. She's serving a life sentence after a jury convicted her of murder but decided not to sentence her to death. And under state law at the time, A person is eligible for parole hearing every 2 years once you spend 30 years behind bars. She's 53 right now. Can you imagine spending 30 years locked away thinking about what you did to your kids? How is it that she doesn't fucking kill herself? I don't know how people... I mean, I get so guilty and feel like shit when, like, for example, pissing Pooh Bear off today. I mean, of course I feel bad about that. I can't imagine the guilt you would feel when you kill your kids. One was 3, the other one was 14 months. I guess she was at the time having an affair. A man she was having an affair with suggested that her kids were the reason why they didn't have a future together. In an interview on the Today Show that I think just aired today, ex-husband David Smith said that 30 years is not enough and that he doesn't think she will ever be rehabilitated. I think I need to get that interview. David Smith, Today Show. That should come up, shouldn't it? Yeah, they just talked to the guy. He's like, there's no way. But she gets to sit in front of the parole board like Red from Shawshank and try to turn this thing around. I'm anxious to hear how this thing goes. I need an update as to what this guy's been doing.
1894, and a desperate search for 2 young boys has gripped the nation.
I want to say to my babies that your mama loves you so much.
Oh.
Their mother, Susan Smith, claims she's been carjacked and her sons, Michael and Alex, taken by a black man. The boy's father, David Smith, sticking by his wife's side, just like much of the country. But it's all a lie. After 9 days of searching, Susan Smith confesses to buckling her boys into the family car and driving it into a lake. Susan Smith is convicted for their deaths and sentenced to 30 years in prison. Now, 3 decades later, Smith is up for parole. And for the first time since her trial, she will hear her ex-husband David speak out to oppose her release.
Your ex-wife is going to face a parole board, and you're going to be there. What do you plan to say?
They can't let her out. For 30 years is just not enough. This wasn't an accident. She deliberately killed Michael and Alex.
You don't think she's been rehabilitated?
I don't think she'll ever be rehabilitated. To me, she's never even been really sorry for what she did.
Susan Smith's incarceration has been troubled. In 2000, she was transferred to a new prison after having sex with 2 guards. She's also been disciplined for drug use. In 2015, she wrote to a local newspaper reporter saying, quote, "I am not the monster society thinks I am. Something went very wrong that night. I was not myself. I was a good mother, and I loved my boys."
I've never denied that she was a great mother up until the moment that she killed him.
No signs. Like
No
there was
signs
never...
that she would ever hurt them. That's why I believed her the whole 9 days. I never doubted her.
David's emotions turned dark during Susan's trial.
As you sat there during the trial, what was going through your mind?
I used to sit there and look at the back of her head and then look at where the bailiffs were and think about killing her.
Oh, yeah.
How quick could I get to her? Could I reach her before that officer reaches me? Yeah,
You wanted her dead.
I did.
David Smith has remarried and is a father again, but he's never forgotten Michael and Alex.
Usually it's a song that I hear. No, not any particular song, just different songs. And it just makes me remember how much I miss them. How I wish I could tell them. I miss you so much.
Oh, that's a poor guy.
His anguish, he says, would be greater if Susan is released.
If she does get paroled. Do you worry that she's a threat to society?
What scares me is that she would get out and then running into her somewhere.
Why does that worry you?
I don't want to see her. I don't ever want to have to face her. Craig, God gives us free will. And that was her choice that night. Nobody else's choice. Nobody made it for her. She made the choice to murder Michael and Alex.
Have you forgiven her?
Of course.
No.
Why?
It doesn't make the pain any less. But I had to forgive her.
I think we need to be a little less forgiving.
And to move on with my life, I had to forgive her because it was just going to eat me up if I didn't.
As you might imagine, it's not been an easy time for David Smith. A lot of painful thoughts have resurfaced, but he's taken heart in all the folks who still remember Michael and Alex and honor their memories. We should point out we did reach out to Susan Smith's attorney. They declined to comment for our story. Talked to a legal expert down in South Carolina. It's highly unlikely that she actually gets paroled. But the David Smith that we saw there, he's come a long, long way in 30 years. He spent some time talking about some of the darker moments in the wake of his son's deaths, and he nearly took his own life a couple of times. But he credits his wife, Tiffany, his new wife, with helping him get through it.
But that grief is just so evident. It can never go away. Of course not. Thank you, Craig.
Shit.
Extraordinary.
There's no way she gets out, right? Come on now. My God. Kenny says, as much as I hate it, that is an extremely wise man right there. Kudos to him. I don't know if I could do that. How about so she had sex with a couple guards, like, at the same time? Was it like rotisserie chicken style? I have to say, she looked pretty good for, being in prison for 30 years. She's kind of a late bloomer. She looked like kind of a dork back then. But she pretty cute. All right. Awful. My God. I don't know what's going to happen here. I'm anxious to find that out. Where does this story take anybody? And if they let her out, it makes you wonder about what happens. Because this is the type of story that would make somebody like Kenny the Punisher's blood boil. Maybe not Kenny in particular, but someone who knows her. If she's out wandering the streets like everybody else, I mean, something bad is going to happen to this woman. I want to thank some of my sponsors. Thank you to the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, 231-332-6505. Buy now, refinance later with Mario, 231-332-6505. From anywhere in the U.S., reach out to Van Dyke Mortgage. The site of the Great Food Giveaway number 5 is going to be Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. We've had a lot of fun there over the years. 616-532-6600. Great group of people to fix your vehicle, your car, your EV, your hybrid. They do it all. ervines.com. That's ervines.com. Can't forget about A&E Heating and Cooling, 616-516-8579. That's 616-516-8579, taking care of your furnace needs in West Michigan. And you can get a free furnace tune-up for free. Wait a minute. I said free furnace tune-up for free. You can get a free furnace tune-up just by calling and scheduling. 616-516-8579. And enough for this round. This is the last sponsor, Kuiper Tree Care, online at kuipertreecare.com, Kuiper, kuipertreecare.com. They can help you out with everything you need when it comes to taking care of your trees. Tree removal, stump grinding, you name it. Kuiper, KuiperTreeCare.com. Got a, uh-oh. Jay Leno has been seriously hurt again after the comedian says he fell down a hill at the Hampton Inn. Interestingly, it says that brother is in deep gambling debt. I don't know if that's the case, but there's theories going around about Jay Leno.
What on earth happened to Jay Leno?
Oh, your poor face.
Look at my eye.
Oh my gosh.
Jay Leno is all bruised up. The left side of his face is black and blue. His eye is swollen shut. And look at his injured wrist.
It broke my wrist, lost the nail on the finger, and then I'm all black and blue.
The comedian says he fell down a 60-foot hill.
I said, well, the hill doesn't look that steep. Let me take it down! And then
You rolled down a hill?
Oh, shit.
That's not true.
No, that's true.
Jay Leno says he was staying at a Hampton Inn about 30 miles outside of Pittsburgh on Saturday night when he wanted to have dinner at a local restaurant before his show. Instead of walking a mile and a half down the road, he decided to take a shortcut down the hill. Not a good idea. This is believed to be the steep incline he tumbled down.
Well, I hit a bunch of rocks. It was 60 feet.
Incredibly, the famous workaholic legend performed just 3 hours later without even taking a day off to nurse his injuries. Last night, he was back at it again, performing at a comedy show in Beverly Hills. This is just the latest mishap to afflict Leno in recent years.
Yeah, didn't his face catch on fire or something?
In November 2022, he was severely burned in a fire inside his garage.
I went to the Grossman Burn Center, and I got a new face. That's a brand new ear.
Leno needed skin grafts, and there he is undergoing hyperbaric therapy at the world-renowned Grossman Burn Center in Los Angeles. Tomorrow night, he'll perform at Comedy for a Cause in Hermosa Beach to raise money for the Burn Foundation, his thank you for saving his life.
Will you be able to see again?
It'll be fine. I'm not worried about it.
Okay. So, now, I don't know. Let's see. Their theory going around on here. That's what Chris wrote. I don't know if I can get behind that, but, I mean, what the hell? Tophus says, thank God for millions of dollars. Aram says, Jay Leno stays at Hampton Inns. Yeah, right. What is up with that? That fall is the funniest thing he has ever done, says Dave. Rebecca says, are his bookies beating him up? Is he known for gambling? Yeah, to your point about thank God for millions of dollars. Yeah, if this were you or I, we'd look like Freddy Krueger. Is there anything more alarming than someone who's had their face burnt off? When I was going to school at Central Michigan University, there was a guy that would visit this dude across the hall. Marcus would be there, and his buddy Jerry would come up, and Jerry had millions of dollars. Somehow there was some mishap where his face got burnt off. His face, his hair, all of his whole body was burnt like from the waist up. And he did not look like Jay Leno there. He looked like Freddy Krueger. I mean, it was that bad. And he was the nicest guy in the world, but I don't know if it's because this is in like the late 80s. If they didn't have the same technology, they didn't have the technology then like they do now, but it's like they just put him out and then, rolled him around the dirt and like sent him home. Because it looked so bad. He had no lips, no nose, and it's like he didn't even. What happened? No hair. He put on a wig. It looked like shit. Like Jesus, Jerry. We wanted to hang out because he was. we'd go out and he'd have all the money, so he'd pay for everybody. And so he's like, hey, who are you here with? Oh, we're here with Jerry. Like, oh, God. Really rough. Kenny, going back to the earlier news today, he says he probably lost all his Pooh Bear points and was in debt for that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's bad. I hope it's okay. I think she's going to be okay. But I don't want to. You guys told me that I shouldn't call anymore. I'm not. I'll leave it alone. Thanks also to Chris. He sent this along today. It is a YouTube short. And when you roll it, it looks like some giant animal in the water, like a sea turtle or something like that. Now, this is real video. This is something in the water. It'll all be explained.
You know, I'm not going to lie to you. Growing up, when I heard about water buffaloes come here, I just assumed they were buffaloes that like to hang around water. You know what I'm saying? Like hang out with their friends near a body of water, maybe get a drink, talk a little bit. That's what I thought. Turns out I should have did more research. I didn't know they could swim like that underwater. Turns out water buffaloes can swim up to 30 miles an hour. Get closer. You didn't hear me. 30 miles an hour. Right? They can move underwater at the same speed as a Honda Civic. And the thing is, right, they can hold their breath up to 5 minutes long backup. And the thing is, I'm like, okay, well, how big are they? They can't be that big. They can be as tall as 10 feet. They're aliens. People are wondering, like, oh, do aliens exist? They existed this whole time. They're just called water buffaloes. That's what I just learned that today.
Great. Tophus says a Honda Civic can go 30 underwater. Yeah, I think he might have just been flabbergasted with it. So Stevie says, I like that guy. He's got an interesting channel. That is interesting. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. There's a white guy who might be the best defensive back in pro football. Now, this does not happen. It's very rare that positions like that have white guys excelling. There's a few positions in football that are like that. But this is a white dude. He's a rookie. I'd never heard of him, but he's kicking ass. Cooper DeJean. He's from Iowa. I take it back. He's not a cornerback. He's a safety. And everybody's talking about him. And they even made a video about him to try to make him the Rookie of the Year.
The Philadelphia Eagles select Cooper DeJean, DB, Iowa. Let's go.
I like how they start the video with clips of him and Jackie Robinson. Like Cooper DeJean is breaking the reverse color barrier.
Eagles select Cooper DeJean, DB, Iowa. Let's go.
I'm the Jackie Robinson of the NFL.
Okay, that was AI or somebody put that voice in.
Don't you want some white cornerback? Where they at? Cooper DeJean is not a safety. He's just a corner who'll lock down your number one. DeJean is CB1.
Okay, I guess he is a cornerback.
Said his wide ass can run. DeJean is CB1. Let me guess. Quicker than fast, sneaky athletic, let that white boy play corner.
So good that white people can't even do it, Travis. Like, that's how you know it's the hardest position. They don't even let white guys try to play quarterback anymore. Like they just said, you're done.
Cooper DeJean is not a safety. He's just a corner who'll lock down your number one.
Love that. I mean, I'm not loving the fact that it's a white guy. I love the song. That's funny. Kenny says, I sent you a quick video too. Did you see it? Did you? I didn't see it. Oh my God. Yeah, I did see it. This is so funny. Holy shit. Okay. On mute. Here we go.
In the 80s, women had a full bush down there, a full bush. 80s, full bush. 90s, landing strip. 2000s, bald. 2023, cock.
Excellent. Thank you. Text from Pooh Bear. Is it lonely not having a Pooh Bear anymore? Kenny says, oh shit, Eric. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. I don't know if the punishment here is fitting the crime. It's like she's holding my head underwater. I don't know if I can live with that. I mean, it's a little much. I think it might be I don't know. I just feel like it's a bit of an overreaction. Tophus says, now is not the time to get mad because you insulted her. Matt says, did you say new phone number? Who dis? David says, I think you really stepped in it this time. Aram says, time to call in the AI apology. I don't know. I think she's forgiving me. Jeremy has the best idea. Tell her to calm down and she's overreacting. That will force her to think rationally immediately. Piano Finger Banger says, give her the old size of the problem. That's a good one. I wrote, can I talk to you again? Not on the air. I'm getting ready to head to somewhere with my students. Yes, on air. She wrote, no. Tophus says, mansplain that her period is making her crazy. Don't do that. Stop texting, says Kenny. No! Piano Finger Banger says, do it. Maureen says, abort! Come on. It's too hard at school. I can't leave the room, maybe at lunch. I think she's forgiven me. Just go scorched earth is the suggestion. Come on now. Kuipers says, tell her it's for the show. Kuipers has been on the receiving end of Pellerito phone calls. I know that because I find these things out. Poor guy. Here's the thing. If Pellerito reaches out to you and you say, yeah, or you don't respond, and then I find out and then I happen to mention it, you're going to get a long letter from him. You're going to get the phone call. The long kiss goodbye. Pooh Bear can no longer she no longer has need for period cups, by the way. You guys have been reasonably helpful in all of this. I would like to thank TC Paintball. You can go to tcpaintballgr.com if you want to book an event. They are awesome. The paintball destination in all of West Michigan and beyond. People come from far, far away to go to TC Paintball. You can book an event for the kids, workplace team building, perhaps a bachelor party. They have everything you need at TC Paintball. Schedule something, maybe even coming up for Christmas break. Kids will be away. Kids will be away from school. You can hang out with them. It's a good time. Werner Roofing, one of the newer sponsors, WERNER, WernerRoofing.com. Want you to reach out to them if you're looking at getting your roof replaced. We did it with Werner Roofing. We had them replace the roof. It was a fantastic process. Within a day, the work was started. The work was finished. Everything was cleaned up. The work was done. There was one hiccup, as there was a busted lamp on the side of my garage. And they took care of everything when it comes to making that right. They ended up just replacing all three of them. Fantastic place. Go to WERNER roofing.com to get an estimate today. There is financing, so you can finance this thing. I just financed my roof for 10 years. Barely even noticed the payments. It's good to go. WernerRoofing.com if you are in West Michigan. Frank Fuss can help you with anything healthcare.gov related. Go to buyinsurancehere.com. That's buyinsurancehere.com if you want Frank to help you out. And finally, King's Room Barbershop. Online at kingsroom.net. You got 3 locations. One of them, Northland Drive. One of them, Caledonia. And one of them, 821 36th Street. You can find out more information at kingsroom.net. When you go there to get your haircut, please mention Easy. It is time, my friends, for the asshole of the day. I know you got a short show, but I'm out of things to talk about, so my apologies for that. The asshole of the day is brought to you by TC Paintball. Online at tcpaintballgr.com. Tophus says this is an easy asshole of the day. Kenny agrees. But also that crazy child-killing bitch, Susan Smith, could be the asshole of the day. Unfortunately, it's Pooh Bear for that overreaction on what I said. So that's your asshole of the day today. Everybody seems to agree. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much, folks. You guys are special. Appreciate you being there. With all of this horrible treatment I've been getting, I'll talk to you on Patreon. Have a good one. Thank you, and bye-bye.